Hello everybody, it's Thursday. I've got a day off work today, which was unexpected. I've had to cover for another manager, so I've had to change my shifts over, so I'm not available this weekend, which is a nightmare. But we've got to adapt and overcome, so today is, like I say, I've got the whole day off. I've got to get whatever I was going to get done on the weekend, done as much as I can done today. Starting off in here, I'll give you a quick look around, show you what I need to pot up, and then I'll show you the swede and things that I've got to pot up as well in a second, because I've had a bit of a problem with them. Firstly though, Grandma, Maureen, Grandad Dave's wife, is back in September when I went to Harrogate. She wanted me to get a amaryllis bulb because she liked the look of them. So I picked that one up. It was a red lion. That's what the name of it was. And she's been growing it since I give her it. And I give her a nice snazzy pot as well. And currently this is what it looks like. So I'll put it on the side here. She's absolutely over the moon. She's not a flower or garden person. Totally the opposite of Grandad Dave. But she's absolutely over the moon that she's been able to grow this. And it's starting to flower for the first time as well. So she's, I can't wait for her to see it open up fully. It's just starting to get the red tips on there as well, so it shouldn't be too long for flowering. So well done, Grandma Maureen. Okay, quick look into the shed here. So on the left hand side we've got the heavy onions, then 5 litre pots. They're going to need to be potted up in the next week or so. I've just watered from below here because that's where I don't water from the top because it can cause damage and wet rot and stuff like that. Not wet rot, it can be damp on the top, which causes the onion to rot. So that's why I've stopped watering from above. I'll feed from above, just around the edge, but I'll water from below. So it's currently being watered at the moment. I've been cleaning them off as I go. I've got to lift that light up a little bit more as well. They're underneath the Spider 4 1000 at the minute, so they're coming on. They're coming on all right. Obviously, we've got different size onions, different stages and stuff like that. So these are all the quality onions. These ones aren't actually. These are supposed to be the heavy ones. These are supposed to be the same size as them ones, but they're not. But they'll need to be potted up shortly as well. I've got one Dahlia in the back here, which I've got on the heat, and I actually have already taken the first cutting from the inside of here. And as you can see, there's 2, 3 shoots shooting up from that. So not be long before I start taking them cuttings as well, which is great. These are the next lot of onions. These are the quality onions I sowed on my birthday here, and also just after my birthday. They need staking up and they will need potting on. That's the next task for potting on to do, possibly next week, because I've got 3 days off next week, so I will be doing them next week. But the thing is, I'm going to start running out of space very soon. I've got my parsnips and carrots that I sowed last week. Still no sign of them yet, but like I say, they'll probably be ready to shoot up in a couple of days' time. Fingers crossed. If not, I'll just have to sow some more. So I think the 3 sticks are the ones with parsnips, and then ones I've got carrots in. These cabbages I potted up 2 weeks ago. They need to be potted up again already, which I expected. You see they're flying out the bottom there. So they need to be potted up into the next stage. So these are all my giant green cabbage. I've got my giant red cabbage here, which is a little bit further behind. I've actually also got some up here as well. Actually more green cabbage, I think that is. I'll have to double check with it. I've just put them up there because they're out the way. Here's my first sowings of John Peace's heavy onions, and also my first sowings of Peter Glazebrook's onions, heavy onions as well. So these are the ones I potted up a few weeks ago. They're still a couple of weeks away from needing to be potted up, but as you can see, I am slowly starting to run out of room, because as soon as I start potting up, that's it. And over here are my early sowings of I've got Peter Holden onions. I've just watered all of these, by the way. That's the reason why the tops look a bit damp. And I've also got some Michael Bradley onions here as well. So as you can see, I am actually full. I'm absolutely full of plants, which at the minute not great, because as soon as I start potting on, I won't need more space. I'm going to have to clear the back out, get them cabbages out, and see what I can do and bring into the house on the windowsill. So as I was saying before, I had a bit of a problem. Can you tell? I left these in the wrong place with bottom heat, I left them on top of the light basically for a couple of days, and they've just absolutely shot up. Now realistically, a lot of these things you probably could just chuck away and start again, but me, I've got some larger pots here. I've got some 1 litre pots. I'm just going to put them in deep and see how they go. These are for giant. I've got some swede, and I've got some kohlrabi, which I've started off a couple of weeks earlier than I normally do. I've already started some more giant swede off here on the side, which I need to water, and that's that first cutting there as well. So I've already started the next batch of seeds, which I need to mark down. But yeah, I'm going to get these potted up. I've got all my stuff all ready to go. These are going to be going on the windowsill in the sitting room, so I don't have to pack the shed out. Sorry, Leslie. But let's get these done very quickly. So just because they're going in the sitting room, what I'm going to do is, I've got my mushroom trays, and just for easy watering, and water from the bottom, I've got my good old compost bag, which I've looked and seen there's no holes in, and I've put 8 pint pots. This is the reason why I don't like square circle pots. I'd rather have the square ones because I can get more in the square pots. So I'll probably get more of these in here than I can the circle ones, but I'm just going to go with these ones for the length going down. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to use probably a dibber because my finger will probably not be long enough. In fact, it might be actually. And then I'm just going to loosen the soil off on here for these. Put my finger in and just being careful. Look at that, that's ridiculous that, but never mind. Put it right in, up to the first true set of leaves. Now, things you can expect, problems that you could have, or you could get neck rot. It could just snap from the neck. Could be a number of things. That's why I'm going to put more sowings in as well of these, because it is now time to sow the kohlrabi and the sweet. But there's one done. Let me get the rest of them done now. And done. Let's not call this a failure, even though it was. Let's call it an experiment and see how these first batch come along. As I've got the next batch all sorted, ready to go in there. I'll keep my eye on these because I only sowed them yesterday, and they'll be going back in on the heat, and I'll check them in 2 days time, because these came up in, I think it was about 4 days in total. Or if we're talking, it's the 31st or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 9 days growth when they went like that. So it's nearly a week. So if I check in again after a couple of days, I'll be able to pot the next ones up into smaller pots, like these ones, or them ones there. So that can fill out before I pot them on again. But these are done. They're going on the windowsill in the sitting room, and that's that job sorted. So I have had a bit of damage in here from the last lot of winds, and of course the first storm Orwin, pretty much took the first this pane off. Couldn't find it. It's actually lying next door on the garden, just back there. But I need to speak to the gentleman across there to see if he can just pass it back over. But also lost this window as well. But got this one back, then it blew out again. So I found it and I've put it back in. I need to put some clips on the outside still. And this window was just ruined. It was up at the time. It blew over the top. It's bent it all over. The frame and everything's absolutely knackered. So I found the pane. I've just popped it in. I'll probably have to take this bar out and then just not have a window in here, to be honest. But yeah, a bit of damage on store from the last storm, Malik, Storm Armin, Storm Ellen, whatever they're called. But it's ended up being a nightmare for storms recently. I hope you haven't had much damage. But yeah, let's see what I can get sorted for the rest of the day here. Now, a couple of years ago, I was given amaryllis for myself. It was given off Dave Shaw. It was an apple blossom amaryllis. I'm so surprised I've actually remembered the names of them. Here it is here. Now, I haven't looked after it very well at all, and I'm sorry about that, Dave. It has been a good flower. It has been really good. What I've had to do here is, because it's just been in this greenhouse, I haven't watered, I haven't done nothing with it. Obviously, I want to try and rejuvenate it. So I've taken out the old compost, put the old new compost in. It's got a good root system on. I'll just take it up and you can have a look. I've taken off the dead skin on the outside. Still some fresh growth there on the roots. So I've just popped it in some new fresh compost, and I can see from the inside that there's actually new growth already starting to come through there. So it's not all lost. So hopefully we'll get some flowers off that, maybe a little bit later on. But off this, I did get 2 small pups, which I planted on last year into these 1 litre pots, and just let them to their own accord. Left them as well, didn't I? Like I say, I'm useless. I can pot them up, then I forget about them. But I've found them, I've got them, and as you can see there, we've got some good new root system on them. And here was this for a reveal. take the dead skin off, and look at that, fresh greenery. It's not dead. I don't know how I've not killed it. They're very hardy, these, very hardy. So like I say, giving it a new kick in life. I've got some fresh compost here. Let's pot them up. Of course, it'll only take a couple of seconds to do this, so let's have a look. So we'll get it. I'll just make a large hole for the root system so they can develop into the pot. Just squeeze it in there, sit it on the top. I'm not entirely too sure how long it takes from the side pups to develop their own flower, but I know that my grandma's has got some, because I'd selected it for that specifically so she can grow some more on. But like I say, it's all a lesson, isn't it? So always learning. We'll get them in there, right at the bottom of the pot. New start, eh? New starts. My new start started. I say new start, it's time to start again. Now I've started again. Right, time to get all of the stuff popped in the living room on the windowsill so they get nice and warm, and that's that section done. Well, I'm just pottering on in the shed here, busy clipping up all the onions. Time to get the calendar changed over. And there we go, all done and dusted. So here's what you can try and do this month for jobs. They say just very quickly: flowers to grow in the greenhouse, so closses, peas, leeks, beetroots, lettuce, radish, all sorts of bits and pieces. We've got Chinese New Year, Queen's Platinum Jubilee, which is on the Sunday the 6th. Then we've got Valentine's Day, full moon there as well. Like I say, there's lots of stuff in here. You still got plenty of time to get one if you want a calendar. Just head over to Ben Thornton's Facebook page and shop, and you can get a hold of one. And that's the website there. Just on the subject of Ben, I know you're going through a rough time at the minute, buddy. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything goes all right with obviously everything to come with your operations and stuff like that. And I'm wishing you all the best, mate. So take care, and you look after yourself. Next task, I do need to get these cabbages potted up again, so I need to go and find some pots, then get them potted up. Right, I'm going against everything I would normally do. I've got square pots here. I'm going to be potting square pots into circle pots, because it's all I've got here at home in the back garden. So what I've got here is I've got them ones in there, should sit right in there, just fill the sides in, shouldn't be too bad. So these are Lee Heverton's giant green cabbage. Let's have a look and see what they're like after a couple. I pretty much only did down the sides with these, so we'll have a look and see how they've reacted in the past couple of weeks here. I'll get rid of the dead leaves at the bottom here. Squeeze, squeeze. Filled it straight away. Filled it straight away, look at that. Definitely time to get these potted up. Right, let's get this done very quickly. Sorry guys, I'm not too sure what happened there. I did start recording. I've seen the first couple of seconds and then it stopped for some reason. Got all these potted up now. Fantastic. Nice big leaves. Bigger pots. There's 3 there. I'll spin these around. There's another 3 here as well. Look at the size of them. That's great, that. Fantastic. Lovely and green. So that's them. All potted up. Another job done. Happy days. That's them done. Something else I wanted to show you in here. Last thing. I'll pop the dahlias into... Obviously they would have had this one in, but I've made space for the Valentine because it's the only one that I want to propagate this year. I've got plenty of other dahlias, and I can see if I can reach out to get some plants from others just for this coming year. But I say my main focus is onions this year. But as you can see, since I've potted this up, I've got a first shoot on here, and that's not without even having the heat on the bottom of there because it was on the outside. So just the warmth in here has caused this to grow there, which is absolutely great. So that's done, all sorted, and you can see that a little bit better there as well. I do need to change the temperature on that. I've just spotted that's at 20 to 25 degrees, so I think the electricity's gone off and it's reset itself. No wonder this is so warm underneath the bottom here. I'll sort that out now. It's one of them stop, start kind of days today. I'm sorry it's all just potting on at the minute, but I've got to get them done as I see it, do it. These are the giant red cabbage that I've got, the first lot of sowings, so I'm going to pot them up now very quickly as well. Now, I can't remember, this is bad as well, always label stuff. I said it when I started sowing this year, well last year, I didn't label these because I thought, I knew what they were red cabbage, because the first ones are red cabbage and the second ones are in the, obviously I showed you earlier on. Some of these don't look like red cabbage. For example, that looks like a green cabbage. That one looks like a red cabbage because it's got red veins in it. So does the one next to it. So I'm going to have to be careful here and keep an eye on them as they grow and see what I've got, because I don't want too many green cabbage, because to be quite honest, I've only got space for 8 giant green cabbage and 4 red cabbage. So I'll have to see what I've got and see how things go with it. But that's all I'm potting up today, because I've had enough of potting up. If I get a chance to go down to the garden this afternoon, great. If not, we'll see what else I can come up with today. Right down the plot, I've got about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. I just wanted to inspect the damage, see if there's any more damage, and it looks like there has been some damage. I'll show you. So the onion house, the sides, that was alright. I'm sure that was alright as well. So it looks like I've got to sort these bits out. Checking the roof on the inside. Roof's alright, roof's solid. But yeah, definitely missing some pieces on this side. And also that front section there, so that'll be on the jobs to do, but it's not today though, because today's task, what a difference coming in here by the way, and just obviously it's not full of weeds and it's not full of mess. I need to pull my finger out and get the rest sorted out. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to come inside here, I'm going to get this tidied, taken out, sorted out, ready to go for this coming season. Very quickly, just took a 2-minute rest. I left the apples outside for the birds because I wasn't going to use them, and looks like we've got a few here having a quick munch. As you can see, let's see if I can stand up without disturbing them. Ah, disturbed them, never mind. See if any more come. There's a guy there. Yeah, I left these out just for the birds to eat. Give them something in any case. Here's a task that I need to sort out. Trees too high, they need to be topped and chopped. Now's the time to do it. So but I can't do it today because I haven't got the secateurs, so that will be the next task. The 2 apple trees need to be chopped across the top. You may be able to see by the bottom there, but I started a fire as well. That's one side done. Just pan over to the other side. Let's get this one done, and then I'll sort out the middle if I've got time. that's that done, sorted. One bed done, two bed done. That's half of them down, two more to go. I'm not going to get enough time to do the middle bed today, so I'll have to sort that out next time I come down. I've only got lilies in there which I need to sort out and find new homes for. I'm going to do the back section. I've got about half an hour left till I get picked up, so I'm going to get that done and then I'm going to call it a day. It's very important because I've left my soaker hoses in here as well. It's important on the inside of polytunnels and structures and things like that to keep them on top of your beds as well and make sure that they're still watered. The benefit for that is obviously soil structure, and obviously all the living organisms inside will get fed and watered as well. You don't want it to dry out, because if it's dry, everything inside of it will be dead. So you don't want that. Healthy soil structure. I've dug this over. It's already getting moisture from the outside, but I might run the soaker hose in any case. Also, if you do run your soaker hose or do water down the beds, it also gets rid of all of the nutrients from last year as well, and all the salts and stuff, so it gets rid of everything from there, so you're ready to go into put new nutrients into the bed with muck, with pellets, with hen pellets, chicken manure, any kind of manure you want. Obviously it all depends on your soil itself. With the beds, you can also, with the soil, you can also get the soil tested, which is a recommendation if you do go into show and giant veg, because you need to know each plant has got its own food. It needs its own food at the right times and things like that. Normally looking at the plants, you can see what it needs. It's a good start, because I always say feed the beds. That means you don't have to feed the plants so much. Still look after the water, of course, but feeding wise. So each bed will need to be different. So what I'll be planning on doing in the years to come is to settling down to what I want to grow, which I'm starting to get there. It's only taken about 5 years. And then with each bed, I can send the analysis away and then see what I need to put in for that coming year and beyond. So that is something I need to look into getting sorted out in the future. But anyways, gather it on, time to get sorted. I'm not going to have a chance to do this back section. Let's get this bit done at the back here. And done. So that's the big outside bed all sorted and tidied. I've just got this side to do, but this can be done on a rainy day. It doesn't really make a difference. One thing I will say is I've got the canes on the side here, which is quite handy, but don't just take them out and leave them, because still got all moisture residue on the bottom from the compost. Best thing to do with these is to get them wiped down, put them in a bucket of water with a bit of disinfectant, and then leave them. Then when you come back, or the next day or whatever the case may be, then they're all clean and they're ready to store. So there's a top tip for you when it comes to the canes. Make them last longer as well. I'll not be doing that today, but I'll be back down when I get a chance to do it. So I'll just leave them to dry because they're all a bit damp. It doesn't make a difference anyways, to be honest. But no, that's me all done for today. I'm just going to wait for my lift, and that's pretty much me done for this week, because I'm on late this weekend, so I won't be able to see you. So thanks very much everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for liking and subscribing. Thank you very much for everybody who's requested the giant veg seed packs. I'm now pretty much run out. I've only got enough seed for myself, but it's slowly creeping on to the time to start sowing things. So can't wait for that. The season's nearly upon us. Time to get prepped, time to get sorted. I've got a lot still to do. Thanks for following. I'll see you all next week. Fingers crossed. I should say next week. I've got 3 days off next week. I can't lie down all week. See you then.